Hi, it's Dominique from Blogging in My Undies blog. I am a Canadian mom of 3 kids, V-Man, who is almost 6 with nonverbal autism and mental retardation, and also A-Man, he's almost 4, and he has SLI, recently diagnosed. SLI meaning specific language impairment. And M-Girl, she's 1.5 and she's just full of attitude. And we also have here joining us, Loki. You want to say hi? Yeah. And he's almost 8. So today's episode, for my first video, I wanted to talk about signs of autism that we notice in our child, because it seems to be a really common question whenever we tell someone that our kid is in fact autistic. He's almost 6 now, and we live in Finland. And he was diagnosed around 2 years old. So some signs that we noticed that he may be a little off was that he didn't speak, but he had amazing motor skills. He could jump, he could climb, he had no sense of fear when it came to jumping off a couch, hitting his head, or hitting any part of his body, hurting himself. He just kept doing it, and it was like no big deal. We are on our 3rd copy of Disney's Cars DVD, because we've burnt out the other ones from watching it every day religiously. He wouldn't really connect with my husband whatsoever until he was about 1 year old. So by connect, I mean, my husband wasn't able to hold him as a baby because he just screamed. He refused the bottle, he refused the soother, so it was breastfeeding all the way until he was about 14 months old. Really obsessed with the swings, the repetitive motion. Very picky eater. He could tell Chiquita bananas apart from any other by taste or touch. And, of course, not speaking, not playing with other kids, and refusing to potty train. Those were all big things, even though we tried elimination communication at about 5 months, and he was a pro at it. But once he got an infection, around 9 months, he completely stopped. So visiting people was quite difficult, and because we're in Finland, we don't have any family here, and we didn't have a lot of friends at the time, so it was really hard to try and find anyone that could take care of him willingly, of course. And when he was about 2, he went for his 2-year-old checkup, and they wondered why he still wasn't speaking, so we were the ones that suggested autism. We had looked it up on Google through some Canadian autism help websites, and things like flapping his hands, and when he's excited he does this, and jumping up and down a lot, walking on his toes, and not speaking, not giving like the solid eye-to-eye communication or connection or contact. It was all there and it fit. And then within 6 months, he got an assessment at the hospital in central Finland, and he was diagnosed with autistic-like characteristics. They said that he couldn't be fully diagnosed yet until he showed more signs of development or lack thereof. So now that he's almost 6, we have an official diagnosis as of last summer, 2014, that he has autism, and he's also listed as mentally retarded scientifically. So that's the way it is for now, and those are some signs of what it's like to have an autistic child. Lots of ear infections, tube surgeries saved us, saved our sanity, allowed him to sleep. If you do have an autistic child, or if you suspect you have an autistic child, please try and get some help, try and get your kid tested. 4 to 1 is the ratio for boys to girls to get diagnosed with autism. It's the most common thing. Not every autistic child is the same, but by all means, if your kid sounds like they have something like what our kid has, never hurts to look, never hurts, to get checked out, and good luck. Right now, in terms of development, V-Man still isn't potty trained. He still wears diapers. He can walk, he can run, he's very good at running away. but as long as we keep moving, for example, he's pretty good at sticking around. And he enjoys walking with the dogs, hiking. He doesn't really have any games he likes playing. And overall, very happy child. But lately, if M girl or A man scream or cry, he gets really mad and he slaps his face so hard, and only one side of his face, that he actually has bruising on the side of it. So that's a bit of an issue that we're going through right now, one of our phases. His eating habits have increased immensely. He's really awesome at eating, and he's willing to try new foods. He'll only drink out of certain cups, which is fine, not a problem. So overall, he's a pretty good kid, and things have changed a lot compared to the first 3 or 4 years. Anyway, if you like what you just saw, I'll be putting different